Hello, friends, and welcome to this lesson. Now, in today's lesson, we are going to talk about correctness in communication. Now, we've been talking about a lot and we've discussed a lot of features that your communication must have. So, today, let's look at this very, very important feature which is known as correctness of communication. So, at the core of correctness, you have grammar, punctuation, spelling. Now, what happens if your letter or mail or proposal or any business document has grammatical errors, punctuation errors, or wrong spelling? Now, friends, this only makes it evident to the reader that not only are you careless, you also do not want to use the present day modern tools available to us. Now, these days, we also have artificial intelligence and machine learning helping us draft our documents and create them to be error free. So, please use the review features. Please use the AI and machine learning prompts that come, but be careful. Sometimes they may give you a wrong word. They may also distort the meaning of a sentence. So anything that you accept through a prompt needs to be looked at carefully before you incorporate that into your document. But remember, incorrect messages or messages with errors are not going to find favor with the customer. It may not just lead to loss of business, it may also lead to loss of a business relation with a client, which is going to be absolutely very, very sad. So, in the context of business communication, correctness will also mean what kind of language you are using. Checking the accuracy of figures, facts, and words. See, my dear friends, authenticity comes from correctness. So, anything that is considered authentic would have no errors in it, especially in the figures, facts, and words. Now, there are lots of reports sent and received in businesses with some inaccuracies in facts, figures, or words. Now, whenever that happens, that needs to be clarified, and then you need to redo something and then send it back, and that can be very, very embarrassing, not only for the persons who receive it and who are going to make a decision based on them, but also for the sender. So, there's nothing wrong in spending a little more time in reviewing what you have written, which you want to send, even if on the other side somebody is pressing you to send it immediately. So, those 30 seconds or 2 minutes extra that you spend on checking that these things are right would actually be time well spent, because if you send it with errors, then when it goes to the other side, they will discover the errors, send it back to you. So they wasted their time. Now you get it back. There's an embarrassment coming. Then you're also going to spend time correcting it, and then you send it back. So why not spend those 2 minutes extra before sending it rather than sending it and then reworking on it? And then, friends, we need to maintain acceptable writing mechanics. So writing mechanics are also equally important for your business documents. So let's first look at the right level of language. So most of the time, if the documents that you are creating are formal, such as agreements, legal documents, articles, doctoral thesis, these are all very formal documents. Now, the format of these documents, the language of these documents, all that is quite rigid. So, you have to follow those. and there is no room for error, because a lot of agreements, a lot of documents will also go to court in case of a dispute. They may go into arbitration, they may go into court proceedings. So you have to be absolutely very, very careful. That is why these documents are created, then checked, then rechecked before anything is signed. So you have to be very formal there, and you cannot have any room for error. Room for error is not there in anything. Now, informal writing would be your, it's not so formal, it's not so rigid, would be your normal business writing, normal business documents, an inquiry, a memo, a meeting notification, etc. So there you will use the everyday language of business. So that is not considered formal business language, but informal business language, but everyday business language, but away from slang. So avoid substandard language or slang or conversational language, because conversational language is not used. You have to use the language of business, which may be informal in tone sometimes, but which is also official. Alright, so use the right level of language. Then the next thing which gives correctness is, of course, accuracy of figures, facts and words. Now, friends, whenever you are using facts and figures from a source, you have to make your source very, very clear. Sometimes you have to quote your source. Other times, please have the source ready, because facts, figures, etc. can be challenged. And if they are challenged, you need to prove that you got it from this source and that the source is an authenticated source. Now, because we need precision in the messages, so we need to check and ensure the accuracy of facts, figures and words. So this has immense value, this has immense potential, and the benefits are only there if there is accuracy in them. So without accuracy, facts, figures and words are of no use. So you must have another person read it, comment on it, validity of material. See, a lot of times I have seen people, if this is 2021, people are quoting figures taken from Google which are 2012, sometimes 2007 figures. So for everything that you are quoting, there must be something which is latest. Supposing we are talking about a census. So if a census was conducted 3 years ago, then you can quote the data of that census, because that's the latest available. There's nothing else available after that. So you have to check, you have to recheck, you have to find out, and only then can you include that in your business communication, in your document. Without that, if you go ahead, then you always stand a chance that somebody from the readership, somebody from there is going to say that these figures are outdated. Why haven't you used the latest figures? So in that case, you would again cut a sorry figure. And friends, most of the time, remember that all the facts, figures, etc. that we quote and all the documents that we send would and may at some point of time be used for making important business decisions. So if we are going to base important business decisions on these documents and what they contain, which in effect means the facts, figures, etc., then we have to make sure that they are sensible, that they are accurate, and that they are the latest. So this, I think, I cannot overemphasize the value of this. Now, my dear friends, the appearance of your business message is what writing mechanics are all about. Now, these days we have some lovely word processors available to us. We have a lot of other facilities that are available with us in order to make a document look neat, well formatted and easy to read. And a lot of companies would be having their own formats for their business documents. So whichever company you're working for, please use the formats that are there. My dear friends, our email signature, all these things, they contain company logos, they almost become like a letterhead. So try to use all these things, try to follow the norms of your organization, and try to create business documents that really look neat, well formatted, and they are easy to read. All right, so that's about your writing mechanics. Leave white space, use only one or two types of fonts. A business document is not something where you need to use too many colors, you need to use too many fonts, you need to decorate it. No, that's not what a business document looks like. And most companies would have their own font family which they use for various things, and they would also have their sizes, titles, subtitles, sections, subsections, and text. So please use them. As far as infographics are concerned, there are so many softwares available, plus even Microsoft Excel has got a lot of infographic capabilities. So use all these tools that are available to you. Do not overdo effects of any kind. Do not overdo any kind of decoration and all that, unless it is something creative that you are sending out. If you are an ad agency and you're sending a proposal to a client, now that's a different thing altogether. But otherwise, under normal business conditions and normal business documents, they need to maintain standards that are clean, that are neat, that are well formatted, that will send the correct impression to your clients. So my dear friends, let me tie this down for you and put it into a nutshell. Friends, what you write and send represents your company. Whatever you write also represents what you are. So every document that goes out through your hands needs to be well formatted, needs to be checked for accuracy, needs to have all the information in the correct format, and it should follow all the rules of communication that we have been discussing now and in the past few lessons. If you do that, friends, you are going to be a very respected person in your organization. So spend a little extra time on your documents. Do it with some more care and make sure that every document that goes out is correct and error free. So thank you very much, friends, for watching this lesson. I am going to see you in the next. Until then, all the best.